Well, hello, my fellow stargazers from Hay House. It's so fantastic to be talking about this fresh new month of February, which personally I feel opens on one of the most sort of beautiful, soulful, poetic notes that it's possible to have. In fact, it does bring a bit of a tear to my eye. I'm Debbie Frank, by the way. That is because we have this incredible final meeting between Venus and Neptune, and also the moon in the sky. I say final because Neptune takes 165 years to go through the zodiac. And shortly, Neptune is going to step out of Pisces and move into the first sign of the zodiac, which is Aries, which starts off a whole new era, a whole new paradigm. So there's something really so beautiful, and what could be better anyway in the most romantic, allegedly, months of the year than having Venus, the planet of love, so close to Neptune, and the moon, the planet of our feelings. So we are feeling all the feels as this month opens. We've also still got Mars in reverse, but Mars will be turning around and moving forwards again in the sign of Cancer on the 24th. And although it's a bit like, kind of turning around a very slow ocean liner, it takes a bit of time. It kind of almost appears to optically stand still. We astrologers call that stationing. So don't expect things to take off like a rocket, but there is this turnaround that's happening. We will all feel it. And Mars is then going to start moving direct, which is a great thing. We also have a super duper full moon on the 12th of February, prepping us all up for those loving feelings. This one is a full moon in Leo. Of course, it's going to be Pisces season that's starting. We begin the month in Aquarius season. Pisces season starts on the 18th. And we get a gorgeous new moon also in Pisces at the end of the month, which is also really a fabulous thing. So let's start off with first things first, the first sign of the zodiac, which is Aries. But for all of you, I will be doing all 12 signs. Stay on till the end because I'm also going to be giving you a little bit of an affirmation or a mantra at the end of this YouTube. So we're starting Aries with Venus, which, yes, of course, this beautiful soulful poetry is on the 1st of February. But on the 4th of February, this is a great date for you because this is when Venus comes into your sign. And Venus is going to be with you for a very long time. Can you guess why? It is because Venus is going to turn retrograde and it's going back and forth between Pisces and Aries. So you're getting Venus back into your sign, and May, June, you've still got the Venus feel-good factor. So there's a lot here to do with relationships, analyzing what you want from other people. Also, don't forget the X factor, which might be resurfacing more in March than right now. But there's this feeling at the moment of you being able to sort of radiate out your best Aries energy. When Venus is in your sign, you feel the love, whether that's through friendship, through, the world and the things and the situations that you love, the activities, or whether, of course, it is your significant other. So on the 12th of February, yes, that full moon in your love zone. Hey, you're the lucky one. So this is a great time for you to be kind of really at the full immersion in being able to generate and radiate love. And for some of you, Aries, you might sort of feel that love is all there is, because in actual fact, that is the truth. The Pisces season, as the sun dips low into your 12th house area, this is really your sort of inner sanctum, if you like. So you need to balance out this feeling of being in Aries when we know that Aries is the leadership, the initiator. This is all about you getting on with the rest of your life. But when the sun just dips low in this month before your birthday, there's this feeling of gathering everything in. It's a bit of a harvest time, actually, and you have to sort of sort everything out and reflect as well on what this year to year has been like in the run up to your birthday, so that you don't bring everything with you into Aries season. You want to only take those things that are relevant, that are really vibrant, that are really positive for you. So when Mars moves direct on the 24th of February, Mars, of course, being your ruling planet, the action planet, this is all about a lot of power for you. And, you know, it's really great to feel that you're firing on all cylinders again. Also, you might have been spending some time since Mars was in reverse from the 6th of December, kind of resolving old battles as well. So you can put the past way behind you in the past. Towards the end of the month, you're getting going again. And the new moon on the 28th of February, great time for setting intentions. This is one of the best manifesting new moons of the year for you. And very much if you're looking for inspiration to visualize what's next in your life, for you to create a vision board, to receive inspiration from your higher self as well. Start channeling, visualizing, and dreaming how you want to bring your life into being. So stay on, Aries, because we'll be doing a little bit of a word, a mantra, an affirmation for you at the end. So Taurus, well, for Taurus, February is all about people for you. Who are your people, Taurus? It's not so much that, you know, you want to continually just have those, you know, always have been in your life people. It's not that you're kind of dropping them, but, you know, you don't have to just keep everything the same. So this is about being open to the new, and this gorgeous link on February the 1st is very much about you softening, opening your heart to perhaps let people in, spread the net a little bit wider, to think about also who's really there for you. I mean, it should be a reciprocal exchange, not always that you're the rock for everyone else, but, you know, an exchange of giving, taking, sharing, in other words. So on the 7th of February, a really brilliant link between Venus and Pluto is all about the deep, going deep. It's meaningful. It could be very sort of passionate because Pluto is the planet of passion, intensity, dropping things into a more profound level. And then we get to what I would call the Valentine's full moon, a little bit early on the 12th of February, calling attention to what's going on with the inner you. This is about your home, your family, your own personal needs versus how you present yourself out there in the world and what's going on for you in the world at large. So I think with this full moon, it's the balance. If you've been too much out there, it's time to just sort of spend a little bit more of the hours on yourself, really. This is self-care. This is self-love. Very, very valuable. But also those close to you, home, family, your nearest and dearest. And then when Mars turns direct again, there is this great feeling of plans coming together, because this is in the zone of your chart, which we call the think tank zone. So it's about, you know, really wanting to make that contact, to reach out and float some ideas. And you're going to have a lot more energy for that. And you'll notice that things don't just sort of disappear or go quiet on you. They start to really get a response. So that's really quite magical. Gemini. Well, Gemini, gosh, still the lucky ones, because Jupiter is here direct in your sign from the 4th of February right the way through until June the 9th, when Jupiter will move on into Cancer. So you've got a few more months with this planet of abundance and the feel-good factor, which certainly, it doesn't make your life perfect. I think sometimes we think that, you know, when Jupiter is with us, that everything is the all singing, all dancing. I mean, it certainly improves our mood. It elevates our confidence. It allows opportunities to come in. But, you know, we have to also recognize that, you know, it's not necessarily that every single person who's a Gemini is going to win the lottery during this time, but it's about being able to spot the opportunities and to have gratitude for those things that are there, and to see the potential for other things that you want to bring in. So when Mars has been in retrograde, you've been really looking here about the figures, the numbers, the calculations, the money, and also, you know, the kind of value that you get reflected from other people. How much do they value you? And that leads you to think, how much are you really valuing yourself, Gemini? Should you ask for more? Could you be more? Could you add another string to your bow? But it is really great when Mars gets going. This sort of opens up the money channels. So in your second house, this really could be quite activating in a very good way. So when the sun also arrives into Pisces on the 18th, it's going on to what I call the top spot in your chart. It's directly overhead. It's like the overhead lighting. We might not like that in our personal homes. It might make us feel a little bit kind of faded out, really. It's too bright, too much. But when we're looking at the overhead lighting of the sun, celestially speaking, overhead, it's absolutely fantastic. We're standing underneath the sun. And there's that sense of having a higher profile, having a greater sense of what your true purpose is. And that brings me to the 28th of February with this new moon activation, which is on the same spot. So it's about who you really want to be, what you want to have in your life, and really putting it out into the world. This isn't about just quietly doing the intention setting by yourself. It's about making those, kind of reaching out moments to others who might be able to mentor you, open a few doors, put yourself out there, in other words, Gemini, and you'll be onto a good thing. Now for Cancer, well, Cancer, gosh, you've had to be very patient while Mars has been in reverse through your sign. Really, honestly, it's been a bit of a long old haul. And so far, the year 2025 might have felt as if you've been embroiled again in feelings from the past. Because, of course, as a Cancerian, this is about the emotional wounding. And we all have emotional wounds. Sometimes we don't want to think about that. But, if we can resolve it, those old patterns, if we can think, well, yes, I did have an original emotional wound, but I'm not going to keep revisiting it and I'm not going to keep triggering it. So how could you respond differently? So the magic on the 24th of February is absolutely amazing as Mars pivots in your sign. And that gives you the opportunity to turn things around, that you could actually stand up for yourself. You could assert yourself. And it doesn't mean that, the sky's going to fall in, that actually, it just makes you feel a whole lot better because you're not really put on this planet to do everyone else's bidding and lose yourself in the process. So this is about your own needs and what you really want. And it's going to be an amazing time. So the full moon of the 12th, well, of course, being a lunar ruled sign, full moons are always very big for you. Being open to complete and to receive, this sense here that actually something here is dropping into your lap in a way, resolving itself, completing. This could be a financial matter. It could be something that's really pretty good because finally you get that answer you've been looking for. Pisces season, well, of course, Pisces is your fellow water sign. So there's always this sense of affinity when we've got the sun in Pisces. And for you, this is in the most spiritual area of your chart. This is about your philosophy of life. It's about opening yourself up. So opportunities maybe to travel, maybe not immediately, maybe in the future, but this sense of adventure starts to dawn on you, inspiration. And especially late in the month, 25th or 29th, we've got this beautiful sense with the new moon coming of you making plans, setting your intentions to reach further out into the world, go somewhere you've always wanted to go to, perhaps to study something, to bring more stimulation into your life. So Cancer, that's really very beautiful. Moving on to Leo. Well, of course, Leo, with a full moon in your own sign, this is a very, very special full moon. You only get one in your sign per year, and here it is on the 12th of February. So the most expressive of the year and very close to Valentine's Day, a time to wear your heart on your sleeve. It's very much about the heart chakra opening up. So where you felt perhaps, a little bit shut down, a little bit closed off. And for some of you, because of the Mars retrograde, you've just been a bit on the back foot. This full moon is giving you this sense that, yeah, it's time to start softening, opening, to show those lovely feelings that you have inside you, that warmth, that radiance of Leo. So meanwhile, while Mars has been reversing through this 12th house area of your chart, it's been all about clearing your past, whether, we're really looking quite spiritually at clearing your karma, or with the physical stuff of life, chucking things out, taking things to the charity shop, throwing things away. And once Mars goes direct on the 24th, there is this feeling of things just kind of on their way back to you. And on the 18th of April, Mars will come back into your sign, Leo, and with you through until mid-June. So however things look right now, if you felt a bit stuck, and it's rare for you to feel stuck, but with Mars retrograde in the 12th, well, maybe you have, from this sense of Mars coming back to you, it'll be so sweet when it does arrive, and you will make up for all lost time, because suddenly you're going to get this massive download of Mars in Leo between the middle of April and the middle of June, and you'll be able to achieve tremendous things. So Venus moving into your fellow fire sign of Aries. This is all about keeping your eyes on what's in your future. New adventures lie in wait for you, new offerings, and this sense that, you know, you could do more and you want to expand and you want to evolve and you want to grow. So keep inquiring, keep that spirit of curiosity about you. And in Pisces season, which begins on the 18th, it's time for you to really go deeper into this, you know, kind of meaningful space in your life where you start to dig a little deeper and think about the reasons why you're experiencing what you're experiencing and getting closure on what everything really means. So Virgo, hello Virgo. Well, this Pisces energy as the month opens is absolutely extraordinary. Of course, it can be a soul connection for you. The moon, Venus and Neptune doing their thing there. It's, you know, kind of about dropping the analyzing and just surrendering to something that could be truly beautiful, and it's much more mystical, much more intuitive than the analytical mind would allow. Later in the month, also with this Pisces new moon, that's going to be a new cycle. There's going to be, you know, this idea of commitments on the 25th when Mercury and Saturn get together in Pisces. And it's not just about you being on your own. This is about, you know, somebody who's making a big impact in your life. This is about, you know, someone you love or someone important that you work with, someone that's just looming large in your life. It's other people having a very high impact. 12th of February, well, that full moon, you're going to find yourself in a quieter place, honoring your inner self. And for many Virgos, that's delicious because you do like a bit of nurturing and fixing things, tweaking things. It's a good time to actually get into those daily rituals. Whilst Mars has been retrograde through your people zone, it might be that, you know, you've been back in touch with those you have previously lost touch with, whether this is friends, whether this is old work colleagues, and you're looking to see, wow, you know, maybe there's still some life in this, or maybe a project that was floated at one time, it's going to come back. It's still got something about it that I'm attracted to, you might be thinking. So there's a lot here that you're looking at that's coming back in. 23rd, late February, well, we've got all of this beautiful energy lining up in Pisces as we go into that last week in February and into March. Again, all of this sort of healing energy, an opportunity to really heal, not to be underestimated, it has to be said. So Libra, Venus moving into Aries. Well, of course, what's not to like about that? When Venus is opposite you, and you being the sign of, you know, kind of opposites attracting and balancing out other people, when Venus is opposite to you, well, you're getting something really positive that's coming in from someone across from you. So it's another person, it's a special someone, it's a significant other. So that's there. Maybe your attraction factor is activated. Maybe the spark is back, or there's a new spark here. The 12th of February with that Leo full moon lights up the friendship angle of your chart. So don't underestimate the love that you can receive from and give to those people that you just love their company. They've been in your life maybe a long time or maybe just for a season, but you really appreciate what you share, what you have together. So that full moon is really for friendship. The Pisces season, which starts on the 18th of this month, moving into the work and health angle of your chart. This is mind, body, spirit. It's about rebalancing, regulating. Love that word, regulating. It's just where things have got a bit out of kilter, a bit out of whack. And I think, Libra, you really are the great harmonizer, the great neutralizer, the great balancer. So regulation, that's what it's all about. And with Mars, well, it's, definitely as it moves forwards again, very much about you doing what you really want to do. And this is all about your 10th house, which is about who you are in the world. Again, putting yourself out there, making inroads, doing something perhaps about your public profile, applying for jobs if that's on your agenda, thinking about, what your purpose is on a deeper level. So Libra, an amazing month. Let's move on to Scorpio now. Well, Scorpio, this Pisces energy is just so, so beautiful. And you being a water sign, you're very aware of the special effects, Venus, Neptune, the moon. Oh, it just feels really quite romantic, it has to be said. And, this is great. There's this sort of wonderful feeling of this mystical connection. It can be telepathy. You think of someone, they get in touch, or you have a dream about someone, or you meet someone and you just feel that incredible sense of connection. And your head might say, well, there's no reason for that. I've only known them for 2 seconds. But there is this feeling that on some incredible non-verbal level, you are very connected. Pisces season, where you get more of that. This is from the 18th, creative, romantic, and late in the month, you get the all-star lineup, really magical there. So this is all about allowing the creativity that's in you to start flowing out as a water sign. So that doesn't mean to say you have to pick up a paintbrush. It's about being a co-creator with the universe. What is it that you'd like to create? What is it that you'd like to manifest? And can you get yourself in touch with the joy of life? It's that childlike curiosity and playfulness, really. So I think Pisces season is really pretty nice for you. And the Mars retrograde, well, the long term might have been on the back burner. You might have had to really focus in on the day to day, and that's not a bad thing. You've had to live in the here and now, but from the 24th, all your horizons are going to be expanded. There's this sense of the future, and whether that means, you're making plans, and that can involve travel, connection with places, people, activities that you haven't been familiar with, getting out of your own postcode or zip code, that's for sure. The 28th of February with this new moon, well, in the most romantic sector of your skies. And by romance, let's talk about romance in the broadest sense. It doesn't have to be, with your one person. We can feel romantic about nature. We can feel romantic with our friends. We can go to a place that just sort of sends us into a state of enchantment. There is the magic of the cosmos and the universe, of course. So this is very heartfelt. This new moon is about you going gently into this latter part of the month of February, healing your inner child, and very much a time of wonder. Well, Sagittarius, Pisces is all about the inner you, who you are when no one's looking, when you're home alone, exploring those inner layers. And with the full moon on February the 12th, this is about you making a decision as to your next steps, maybe again, signing on the dotted line for a journey that you're going to take, or a course that you're committing to, having some real strong signposts here as to future, what the plan is, and you want to take those steps into this new pathway. Now, whilst Mars has been retrograde in this financial area of your chart, in the financial zone, which is actually where you're involved with other people, you might have had to sort of extrapolate what's yours from what's theirs. So whether that is in a business or a personal sense, you've been perhaps looking at the give and take, the sharing, whether it's with an organization or a particular person, rejigging the setup financially and also emotionally for you, the contracts, the interactions, the arrangements. From the 24th, as Mars turns around, well, that's it. Big tick in the box. Time to move on. The new moon on the 28th, beautiful, being lit from within. We love this. It's so radiant. And this feeling that actually just shining out, the essence of being a Sagittarius is enough to light up the whole world. It's really very beautiful. And let's look at Capricorn. Well, Mars, of course, has been reversing through your opposite sign in what we call the 7th house. So whilst it's there in the relationship angle of your chart, It's all about, who's showing up in your life and how are they showing up? Maybe people from the past who used to be in your life. What are they doing now? What's left over in relationships? What do you want to do and who do you want to do it with, Capricorn? So there's this sense of, trying to resolve anything that's left over really in a relationship from the past. And that might have involved going back over a lot of old ground. But from the 24th, you're really ready to move forwards again. Either you're leaving something behind, or you've resolved all of the details and you're ready to be in it together in some way. So, I mean, it's going to really move things on. And the full moon in Leo on the 12th, getting closure on a financial matter. This is about trust. That full moon is all about, what people's fears are of getting involved with others, be it emotionally or financially. And, once that's resolved, full moons are very good for resolving things. You're just getting to see straight into the heart of the matter and, signing it off for all parties. The Pisces season, well, this is about bringing you alive mentally. It's fantastic. There's, obviously the feeling of Pisces is more intuitive rather than in the linear mind. So it gives you that space, that opportunity to link the heart and the mind. And although, of course, you're always going to be very practical, Capricorn, when Mercury and Saturn, your ruling planet, get together on the 25th, and this is a great opportunity for you to do the right thing because it feels right and practically it is right. So the new moon on the 28th, when 6 planets line up, well, this is all about what inspires you. What are you dreaming of at this point, Capricorn? Even a Capricorn must have a dream. And I think it's often kind of a little bit misunderstood for Capricorn because people do often think of you as an earth sign, as being just very stalwart and, solid. But actually what you're climbing is not just the physicality of a mountain. It is in fact a spiritual mountain. Now, Aquarius, well, you've started the year obviously with Pluto fully engaged in your sign. And when we get to this full moon on the February the 12th in Leo, your opposite number, you're looking at the current theme of relationships. Are you repeating patterns? Is there something new that you want to bring into a connection, a relationship? Is there someone here you need to reach out to? What's the history of the relationship? So that full moon is going to be very good. It could be very romantic as well, a full moon in Leo, and it is, after all, so close to Valentine's. As Mars has been reversing through the 6th house, the most practical space in the wheel of the zodiac, and there's the sense that perhaps you have had to get down to the basics, the mundane matters. So you've been rolling your sleeves up, doing a lot of things, doing lots of sort of little checkups and check-ins, whether that's in any area of your life, work, health, whatever. You're just trying to make things more efficient so they function better. And so with Pisces season, as the sun moves into the money angle of your chart, this is about, your talents, a huge buildup of energy here. It's a massive buildup around the new moon on the 28th. Could be approaches and offers being made. And since you will have already had the sun in your sign, filling you with that light and that sense of your own internal chi, so you're just literally a force of nature by this time. When we get to the end of the month and all of that lineup happens in the money angle, so yeah, really ready to go with it to put this into action. And Pisces, last but not least, well, the 1st of February, this absolutely stunning lineup of the moon, Venus, and Neptune. Don't forget, you would appreciate this perhaps more than any of the other signs. The poignancy of it being the final time that these will meet in Pisces in your lifetime, unless somehow we all get to live to way over 165 years old. It's a rarity, it's exquisite, something very delicate about it. Don't expect massive great things in the external world. It's how you feel on the inside that counts. Now, Mars has been in retrograde in your 5th house. So this is about the world and the realm of imagination. Perhaps you've been revisiting some of those things that used to light your fire, and kind of playing around with the ideas of things that, could allow you to express yourself more creatively. But on the 18th, the sun, of course, powers into your sign. It's the beginning of Pisces season. You're going to put your name up in lights. You're going to receive those solar codes of what's next for you in this year, 2025 to 2026. And it's a kind of whole revitalization of who you are. Obviously, we tend to get more attention when it's our birthday month. There's this feeling of people getting in touch and like a reassessment of what we're going to do now we turn this age. So it's a remarkable time, and we start afresh. This is many happy returns, the return of the sun to your own sign, the same sign, of course, the same place as it was when you were born. So this incredible lineup that happens, the month is topped and tailed by this. Starts on the 1st with the beautiful lineup of Venus, Neptune, and the moon, and it finishes with the new moon, which is when the sun and the moon are close together, joined, fused in Pisces, and also Ceres, Mercury, Saturn, and Neptune. Wow, I mean, what a lineup. 6 of the heavenly bodies here. And that is very meaningful. And, there's just this sense of dropping into a much deeper level of wisdom, awareness, understanding, connection. It will be different for each and every Pisces, of course, but it is nothing short of a rebirth energy. Really rather lovely. So all of you, absolutely beautiful month, February, and means that we're well on our way to moving into this extraordinary year of 2025, where talk about a transitional year. So many of the planets are changing signs, the slow moving planets. So it's a massive, massive, great shift on a collective level and in our own lives. So we're starting to just move towards this and prepping ourselves, getting ready for it. So, as promised, let's just run through the signs and, tune in to what's really needed at this point in this month of February. When we look at Aries, well, obviously, this is about courage, something that you do have in spades, but, giving other people courage. It's not just all about you, Aries. It's about dropping that word in someone's ear. Taurus, well, it's about spreading yourself, not too thin, but spreading the net, as I mentioned earlier. Who else can you reach out to? Gemini, gratitude for having Jupiter in your sign and all of those opportunities and how you can make the most of them. Cancer, it's about really finding this inner fire as Mars is reversing through your sign. It's not about who's seeing it out there in the world. It's about that real fire that's within, which is the beginning of your willpower. Leo, well, something special for you. It's full moon, a real celebration. I would say, celebration is your mantra word, especially around the 12th with the full moon in your sign. Virgo, getting it together. You really are. Whether we're looking at that in terms of relationships, you're getting it together with someone else or getting your own life together. Things are lining up for you with that planetary lineup. And Libra, well, harmony, of course. Isn't that what you always seek, Libra? Looking to see and identify, who has impacted your harmony and how have you allowed that to happen, stepping away from it. Scorpio, time of passion. It's a time to connect with that true Scorpio birthright, which is intense. And, don't be in denial about it. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing, this passion, to live with passion. Sagittarius, exploration. Well, yes, you are going on an adventure, not necessarily a bear hunt. We're going on an adventure. And that might be going somewhere you haven't been before, thinking thoughts you haven't thought before. Capricorn, well, it's about tuning in. So Capricorn, don't be so practical that you forget that intuition and your capacity to channel is also very important. So you can read the situation, you can read the room. Aquarius, inner power. this is what it's all about. Amazing as you tap into Pluto's incredible source of power that's in your own sign, and this feeling of the inner power, which, you know, gives you a very different frequency and vibration. Pisces, my word for you for the month of February is magic, because quite simply, it is. There is magic in the air, and you're the one that's going to be able to create brilliant things from it. So thank you for joining me, and do have a great February. You can find me on Substack. You can find me on my website, debbiefrank.com. You can fill out a contact form and ask for details on personal sessions with me. There's my book available from the lovely people at Hay House, and also on Amazon. It's called Who You Came Here to Be. Here it is. Yay! And I'm busy writing my next one for them. More details on that as this year progresses, but have a great February. Thank you.